Welcome back to the Bead Flora Studio. Today I'll show you how to make these simple beaded flower hair clips. It is very lightweight because it is made using the continuous wraparound technique, and it uses one wire for all of the petals. And this is attached to a finding that is a hair clip and also a brooch pin. So you can either wear this as a brooch or a hairpin. So let's get started. We will be beading as we go today, so you will need to have your wire already cut. I have 67 inches of wire, or that is 170 centimeters. I'm using silver and also silver lined green today. So take your wire, make a loop, and let's string some beads. I'm going to string 15 beads on here. 5, 10, 15. And then we're going to make sure that we leave a 2.5 inch tail. 2.5 inches right here. That is about 6.5 centimeters. So we're going to do, let's move these beads out of the way. We're going to do continuous wraparound. So create a loop like this where there is a cross underneath the beads. Put your index finger underneath the beads and create a twist. And then just bend the beads down a little bit if you want. If you don't want to, if you like that look, that's fine. And now we have the tail over here, and we have the working wire on the right hand side. So physically move the working wire to the left hand side. Now we're going to string more of the silver beads. We're going to create 3 more wraps with these. Okay, wrap around the first loop. And we'll have the tail here. We're going to wrap around the tail. So make sure that it is straight. And I want to have a pointed bottom. So have this wire here at a 45-degree angle, just like this. If you wrap like this, you have a rounded bottom. If you move the wire just like this, you can create a point. So just like this, go behind the wire and come back to the front. And do the same thing here. Go behind the wire, back to the front. Now we're changing gears and changing colors a little bit. But first, let's get 10 of the silver beads on here. So I have 3 already. I have a little bit more than 10. Let's see, 5, 10. I like to count 5 at a time and just remove the excess beads I have on here. And we're going to get some green on here. And we just want both sides to match. So I'm just going to take away the beads right here. That looks about right. And we're just eyeballing it. Let's take away 1 more bead. So this should match this side over here. So take away the one more bead, and then we're going to do the rest with silver. Okay, and next I'm going to do just wrap around totally with the green. So I'm going to remove the silver. And string enough beads to go around. Just enough. That sometimes happens. Lucky. Alright, so we're done with this petal here, so wrap around. And one more time to secure the bottom. I'm just going to pull at it so that it's secure. Next, we're going to create the second petal on the same wire. So let's get some silver beads on here first. Doing 15 beads here. So 5, 10, 15. Okay, and we want some space in between. We want a ½ inch in between. That is 12.5 millimeters. So mark the spot here with your finger and create a loop with the beads, just like we did before. Put your index finger underneath the loop and then create a cross. Create a twist. Twist twice. 1, 2. Okay, now let's now we have the working wire on the right hand side, so let's move it to the left hand again. And we're going to create another petal just like this, except we're just going to wrap around this wire in between. Now I have everything wrapped with the second petal, and I just need to just finish it up and just wrap around this wire here twice. 1, 2, and then pull on it to secure it. And now we have 2 petals. So I'm going to finish the rest of the petals until I have 5 total. Now all 5 of the petals are done, and now we have 2 of the wires here. And here is our flower. Next, what we're going to do is to take the 2 wires here and twist it so that there is a hole in the middle here. And we're going to stick our center through there later. Now we're going to lace the petals together. Yeah, it's nice and pretty just like this. But we're gonna kick it up a notch. I'm gonna use some 28 gauge wire to lace the petals. Normally I like to use 30 or 32 gauge, but so that it's more visible on the camera, I'm using 28 gauge here. And it works perfectly fine. It's just thicker. It's easier to work with too, so that's another plus. So just take any petal, put it over your index finger, and then and I normally like to lace along the middle, so just a little beneath the middle, because I want to lace all of these petals together. So put the wire, just put the wire over here, put your thumb over the wire to steady it. Take the other end of the wire, stick it under the row, the right hand side of the row, and then bring it back to the left, or bring it back from the left. Now you have wrapped around the first row. And since it is the first row, I like to do it twice, just so that, you know, it's secure and tight. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me today? Okay, there we are. Okay, and now this little thing here, cut it right away, because you don't want it poking you. And tuck it in right away. Oh, did I mention that you should be on the back and side? Yeah, you should be working from the back and side. Alright, so now take this wire here and stick it through the right of the second row. You can turn your work too, so that you can see it better. When you're working from the back and side and just lacing like this, you shouldn't be able to see it towards the front. Okay, so it's basically just sewing the rows together. Okay, now I have the first petal laced. I'm going to connect this petal and continue lacing here. If you don't want to do this, you can cut this here and then lace each individual petal individually. But I like to lace it all together, just so that I'm not cutting all the time. But if you find that it's easier for you to just lace them individually, do that. So I just connected the two petals here together. And you notice that this is not absolutely straight. That's not a huge deal, because you're really not going to see it in the front. So not a huge deal, but it's nice if it's straight. I actually kind of have it kind of curved like this. I'm going to continue lacing all the petals together here. I'm done lacing all of the petals, and I'm going to finish this here. I'm just going to take this wire, and now all of the petals are laced together. Now, like I said before, you do want to start just a little bit below the center, just so that you can lace all of the petals together down here. If you do it towards the top, then you're going to have wire showing right here, and it's not that attractive. So I'm going to wrap this around this row one more time and then cut it. Tuck it in with your nail. We're going to make the center, cut 17 inches of wire, and I already have some beads on the wire, and leave a 2.5 inch tail, and again that is 6.5 centimeters. So let's count 15 beads. 5, 10, 15, and just create a cross underneath the beads. And that's it. That's one loop. Now we're going to make 17 more. Count 15 beads again. 5, 10, 15. And create another loop. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to string a whole bunch of beads on here instead of just stringing as I go. And then make all the loops all at once. And I have all of the loops done, and I only had enough wire to make 10. I don't know why I wrote down 18 in my notes, but it's only 10 continuous loops. So let's remove the extra beads here. So 15 beads, 10 loops, not 18. All right, so take the ends together and just twist so that we have a center like this. So you're going to scrunch it up together. And now we're going to take this and put it through the hole of the bigger flower. And ta-da! Okay, so take your chain nose or needle nose pliers and twist the bottoms together. You want to hold it with your pliers and twist with your hand. And do it very gently so you're not breaking any wires. You want it tight, but you don't want to break it. It's really simple to turn this flower into a hair clip. From the back, just bend it down and cut. Cut the wire. I'm just going to twist, just taking your chain nose and just going to twist it like this. Now we're going to take this hair clip and brooch finding here and attach it to the flower. And I like to have, well, first of all, position it on the flower and see where you would like it. And I like to have this clip part behind a petal. I don't want it over here so that you would see the actual clip when it's actually in your hair. So if you put it behind a petal, then you won't see it. So let's go ahead, take some hot glue and just apply some glue on the back of the beads. And then take the clip and attach. And I get asked a lot if hot glue will be sufficient, and yes, it is. I've made tons of these hair clips, and all I've used is hot glue on these hair clips, and they have worked perfectly fine. Okay. And what I think that makes it work on these findings is it's glass beads on metal. So, and you know what? If it does come off, slap some more hot glue on it. It'll last, what, another couple more years. So, all right, and we're done here.